Hello, welcome back to the podcast Politics Just a Thought. This is episode 4. We are continuing our season 1 theme of trust. Today, the theme is trust in the Department of Justice. And just a thought, maybe the Department of Justice needs a little more separate identity from the sitting president of the United States and needs to protect victims better. In a PBS News article from PBS NewsHour entitled "Investigation Reveals DOJ Withheld Epstein Files Mentioning Trump." This was published February 24th of 2026. In regards to the handling of the Epstein files, it's pretty common knowledge that a lot of mistakes were made. And among those mistakes was several instances where victims' names were left unredacted and they were exposed and their identities were revealed, which is obviously a major problem with protecting victims, and in this case, victims of sex crimes under the Epstein sex trafficking ring. And as we know, Pam Bondi was responsible for overseeing the correct release of these Epstein files. Trust in the institution of the Department of Justice decreased significantly when these files were mishandled, which is pretty common knowledge at this point. She has since resigned. There's now a new head of the Department of Justice. In terms of why files were withheld that mentioned Trump, of course, that implicates that he did not want his name associated with these files. However, we know that Donald J. Trump is mentioned 38,000 times, 38000, over 5,300 files. And so, of course, we know that he was heavily involved in his friendship with Epstein, and to what extent we don't know. But just a thought, the federal prosecutors and members of the Department of Justice need to thoroughly call into court people mentioned in the files for questioning so that we can get these victims the justice that they deserve. And we hope that that will happen soon.